Hey guys, what's going on? Got another truck camper question today, and this person is going to be anonymous. And the question goes something like this: I am looking at purchasing an F350 diesel and an Arctic Fox 990 truck camper. We both love the outdoors, fishing, hunting, and hiking. Staying in trailer parks does not appeal to me. I have had several travel trailers and experienced that my best adventures were off the beaten path. Yes, mine too. A truck camper seems ideal for this, especially with a four-wheel drive F350. We have visions of going boondocking and unloading the truck camper if we are going to be in a spot for a week or so. An Arctic Fox dealer told me that sometimes the truck camper can shift after unloading. Yes, it can. Sometimes the ground is uneven. So what was relatively easy in the driveway becomes challenging when trying to back under the camper in the woods. This salesperson has never used a truck camper. Now, that's no surprise. Most salespeople, they only know how to sell something. A lot of them haven't even used the uh, the typical RV. He was going on hearsay. In a trailer park or developed campgrounds, the ground in the parking areas seem like it is rather stable. But what about while boondocking? Have you had trouble getting back under your camper, or do you just leave the camper on your truck for going a week long trip? All right, so that's an excellent question. Unloading, unloading, and loading. My first thoughts that come to mind is the most challenge that I've had with mine is it's backing underneath the camper with the truck. It's not the unevenness of the camper because that can be adjusted with using the electric jacks, raising them, lowering them. But um, the one challenge that you're going to have if you are unloading it in on uneven terrain, it's going to be the position of the truck. So the actual truck bed, and that can cause a lot of challenges with if your bed isn't totally level. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you've got one side of the truck is higher than the other, then yes, that can definitely cause some issues. Personally, I do not like to take the camper off of the truck if I'm out boondocking. I don't probably foresee myself ever doing that. I think the truck will stay with the camper. For my situation, you certainly can take it off. But as far as going back to the loading and the unloading, yeah, to me it's your truck. It's how level is the actual ground underneath the drive tires. So and that will determine how simple or complicated that it's going to be unloading, backing underneath it. Another important consideration that you also want to definitely do is that when you lower the jacks, if you are off road, if you're not on a hard surface, you're on ground, gravel, is you want to make sure that you have some pads. You've got some pads, and those pads could be lumber. They could be like a 2x6 or a 2x8. They could be stone blocks, bricks, whatever you have, whatever you like to use. It could be even those plastic level blocks, those stackable ones. You've got to have something under those pads because that's going to give you a larger footprint. So when you lower the jack all the way to the ground, it's going to spread that weight out farther than just centering it in that one spot. So that's very, very, very important. If you ever take the truck camper off of the truck on ground or whatever, you always want to make sure that you're putting some type of a footing underneath that jack so that it's going to spread the weight of that side of the camper out as far as it can, and that jack won't sink all the way down. There's a product called it's called Stable Lift, and I have not actually experienced using this product myself. I've never had it on any truck camper that I've owned. I have seen them on many other trucks going down the road, and I haven't had an opportunity yet to talk to any owners that have used the stable lift. And what is the stable lift? The stable lift, it's this mechanism that goes. It's a complete frame assembly, and for the most part, to my knowledge, it eliminates needing to use the factory camper jacks, and you also don't have to use any type of tie down systems when you are securing the truck, securing the camper to the truck. It has this frame that when you lower it down to the ground, then you pick up the lower jacks, and it secures itself against the truck frame. It's a really unique design, and I do find it intriguing. And so having something like this this is just another product that it has many advantages. I was actually going to do another video talking more about it, or at least asking you guys, the viewers, questions about it. Those of you that are familiar with the stable lift. My question that I have is if I'm unloading the camper, and say the front of the ground in the front is higher than in the rear. So how would that stable lift work in that scenario? Because with that stable lift, you push one button and all of the jacks, there's like two jacks on both sides, and they both actuate at the same time. So my thinking is you would need to be the ground surface would need to be somewhat level in order for that to work out well. So that's just what I think. I don't know. So the stable lift is another really great tool to use to unload the truck camper. And the other great thing about this is the best part about the stable lift, is if you plan on taking your truck camper off of your truck a lot, then once you lift it with the stable lift and then you lower it back down, you're done. That's all you have to do. You just level the camper out. You don't have to block anything underneath the camper to support it. Like I have done on mine, I use trailer jacks and blocks, and I block up the front and the rear to make it solid inside, and that also just gives me a little bit of protection, knowing that if one of the jacks failed, that I would have something underneath to support the camper. So for safety issues, it's really important to do that. So yeah, that's those are my thoughts with loading and unloading the truck camper. For most of the time, you're not going to have you shouldn't have too many issues with it. It's a matter of squaring it up on the truck bed. But yeah, if the ground if the ground that you're unloading it on is definitely uneven, then yeah, that's definitely going to cause some troubles for you, for you to back underneath it when you want to load the camper back onto the truck. So another thought that I just had while we're having this discussion about unloading the truck camper, and essentially it sounds like camping in the truck camper off of the truck. So this brings up a whole nother discussion, which I think this is a good place and a good time to talk about it. So this is something that you really need to, when I was doing my shopping and research, before I bought my truck camper, I learned that some manufacturers design and allow the use of camping in the truck camper off of the truck, and other manufacturers don't even specify doing it. I believe that Lance specifies that it is acceptable to camp in the truck camper off of the truck. And also I know that Northern Light, it is acceptable. So, but I think like Arctic Fox, I don't think that they specify. Now they may have made some changes, but a couple of years ago when I was looking, Arctic Fox didn't actually specify that the manufacturer, that it is safe to camp in the camper off of the truck. So this is something else that you do need to look into. And I know when I did my research, there was only a few manufacturers, Lance, Northern Light, and maybe one or two others that specified that it was safe to do so. So that's just kind of another thing that you may want to do some more research into, and then we can start talking about. That's one of the points that I am going to swing the bat for Northern Light is the way that they designed their jack mounts. They are an L bracket, okay, and so it appropriately distributes the weight of that jack on an L bracket. And most manufacturers, they just have a one face, one plate that's just bolted to the inside of the walls of the camper, if it's an aluminum superstructure or wood, and they're just bolted in there. So a lot of them, every camper has their own, but like if Lance says that it's okay to do, then I'm sure that they have taken that design engineering into they've taken it into account. So that's just another thing to be thinking about if you want to camp in your truck camper off of the truck. But even like I said, even with my Northern Light, if I was going to unload it here while I was out boondocking, I would still want to support it underneath the truck camper. I just don't want it all hanging on all four jacks. And I know in my owner's manual for my Happy Jacks, they state that they don't recommend that they recommend that you have something supporting the belly of the truck camper. So while it's hung in the air, they don't recommend that you just support it by the jack itself. So that's just another FYI, another safety thing to be considering. So hopefully I've answered your question to the best of my knowledge. This is the only question that I have for right now. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your questions. If you have some more questions, please shoot me an email, and I will answer them. Take care. We'll see you next time.